In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends podcast.
It would be really cool. You know, it would be really, really cool if the fucking ads just started now. You like that? As long as you don't fuck with me, this will be funny every time, man.
I feel like if I do fuck with you, it'll be even more funny.
It'll be a little funny.
Yeah.
It'll be a little funny. Yeah.
Okay, you can play the ads now.
Guys, it wouldn't be the Freedom Friends if we didn't talk about our number 1 sponsor, Warfighter Tobacco. Obviously, you guys have seen us all smoke them. We're here to talk about a quality product that everybody can enjoy. The great equalizer, as we've called it, the Warfighter Tobacco Stick. And it's not just cigars. They've got humidors, travel humidors, cutters, lighters, everything you need to get started on that journey. So check out warfightertobacco.com and use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet, sweet 15%. If you want to know my personal favorite, I'm a 762 Field guy. I like that Sumatra, real nice and even keeled cigar. Great for us beginner smokers, right? And I'm told that these taste even better when you're listening to the Freedom Friends podcast. Now, back to the show. This episode is brought to you by Grill Your Ass Off. It's no secret. We're all middle-aged dudes who love barbecue. Grill Your Ass Off is our main go-to for our spices. That's what we use, man. Whether you're doing burgers on the grill, steaks, or my personal favorite, a little bit of pork belly burn ends, right? They've got you covered on all of that. They also have salsas. They also have seasonings and spices. They got beer salts. They've got everything, man. Check them out. grillyourassoff.com/freedomfriendspodcast or use the code freedomfriendspodcast at checkout.
All right, folks, I don't know if my pants are in love, but my zipper's definitely falling for you. We're sitting here in a triangle?
It's triangle because we're Sans of Scott.
It's isosceles.
Yeah.
But we're making positive eye contact, so that can only mean we're about to do one thing.
Johnny boy.
Everybody reach to the right and close your eyes. We're about to fuck masturbate, boys.
That's goddamn right. It's time for the Freedom Friends Master Debate, solving the world's problem, mediocre topic after mediocre topic. How this works is Justin gives us something. We have no idea. We go into this cold every time. We have no idea what he's going to talk to us about. And we usually answer it in 3 minutes and then fucking spend the rest of the time talking shit. So
Is that how it works?
usually. I'm just going off. It's been 4.5.
It's 3 minutes of fucking and like 40 minutes of cuddling.
Yeah. Which is just my speed.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm glad that I now know how the debate works.
thank you.
It's been 4 years and I've been lost.
I'm still waiting to get jerked off.
I know. Every time I try, you fuckers leave me hanging.
Why are you taking your pants off again, man? What the fuck?
Just go with it.
Justin, what you got for us this week?
All right, boys.
All right, boys.
So the conversation y'all were having right before we started this debate was perfect because my question is...
We talked about a lot.
If you woke up in the 90s, what are the first things you're going to do?
We used to wake up in the 90s, you fucking child.
Yeah. You know what the first thing that I did is I walked outside and had a cigarette.
Yeah. Actually, back then you could smoke inside. It was fine. Nobody gave a fuck.
I didn't even get out of bed. I just grabbed my smokes off the nightstand.
They were right there. Yeah. You grab your smokes, you light up, and then when you move your poster, when you finally move, there's a yellow fucking outline of a white fucking square. Yeah.
He just asked us, what did you guys do in the morning? Like, it's not a debate question. It's just like, hey, what was the 90s like?
Like
that was the actual
What was the
question.
90s like? You want to know what it was like? It was awesome.
It was
The fucking 90s were cool, man. The 80s were dog shit. And the 90s were fucking
what's funny?
great.
What's funny is in the 90s, I would get up like early and pretty much outside the whole fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Doing something.
Yeah.
Right. And then the mid 2000s, once like cell phones and internet and all that shit came around, like I didn't get out of bed till 4 PM.
Yeah, dude. Like cell phones changed 2 big things for me: downtime and taking a shit.
Yeah, but that was smartphones. Yeah. When cell phones first came along, it was just
Snake.
Yeah, but that was still the Nokia and stuff. I'm talking about like the StarTAC and all that shit before like the Nokias came along with Snake.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, yeah, it was. If it wasn't raining, you got up and you immediately went and found
Somebody
something
else.
to go do, somebody else to go hang out with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was raining, then I unpaused my copy of NFL Blitz
Attaboy.
because like those systems didn't burn out. Like you could like it was a rainy day. You played NFL Blitz, and then it was time to go to bed. So you just paused it and you set it down.
Yep.
Then you went to
That bitch
sleep.
Spun all night long.
And then you get up and it was like, oh, it's still raining. Start, and you just fucking carried on your game. Like
Fucking I.
miss NFL.
What was your favorite 90s era video game system?
Mike Tyson Punch Out on N64.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
On N64.
Yeah.
I had it on Super.
Yeah.
yeah, I played it on Super.
I'm gonna
I played
say
it on Super too, but N64 because it had that weird remote.
N60.
So like the best part is
little middle.
somebody
thing.
would be really good at it, but you hand them an N64 remote and they're like, oh, and then you beat the shit out of them.
They were good on original
Yep,
NES. They
yep.
don't know fuck all about Super Nintendo.
mine's a
or
tie. It's
N64.
favorite system. Mine's a tie between the N64 and the Sega Dreamcast.
See, I was a Sega Genesis.
I was a Sega Genesis.
or 32X when that came out.
I
The,
never-
the thing that stuck in on the top.
It was just a 32-bit
Yeah.
maker for the
Yeah.
Sega.
I-
I had a Sega CD.
We had the Sega CD, Genesis, and
Yeah, so
fucking-
I had a
so
Genesis and everything,
it,
but
it ended up being a system that was this
Yeah.
fucking tall. It was
I had a
3 feet tall.
I had a Genesis and I had all the upgrades. I even had the Jaguar for it to fucking
Game Genie.
Game Genie. I had all that shit.
Yeah.
But I was one of the few that actually got a Dreamcast.
Yeah,
And the Dreamcast was awesome. The problem was it was set up for online
I
play,
think I played it once.
but you needed a fucking high-speed internet connection. So it actually had a
we
network
had this
cable
guy.
in the back of it. And nobody had fucking high speed. So you were only playing locally. And it was like, well, you could get this feature. It was online. It was a dope-ass system. And I loved it. That's where Echo the Dolphin's from.
Yeah. No, that was Sega CD first.
But on Dreamcast, it really
That's when it got cool.
it's so
Yeah.
good. But yeah, the N64,
The Sega CD sucked ass.
fuck,
It
man.
was so terrible.
I had a lot of time sunk into N64. That was probably, in my opinion, probably the last really good Nintendo system
Right.
was the N64. They all
Yeah.
got kind of lame after that.
Twitch is pretty good for what it
Switch.
is. Or Switch.
Yeah.
Twitch is something else,
It's just a Game Boy. It's just a big Game Boy.
essentially.
But
It's closer to the
the Genesis, the thing I
the
loved
Sega
about
Game Gear.
I had a Game Gear too.
Me too. Did you have the blue one or the black one?
No, I had the black one.
I had the black one with blue battery covers.
Yeah.
My Game
had the
Boy
black
was
one.
so old, I had a light attachment that clipped onto it and lit the screen because it wasn't back.
Oh, what was the name of that? There was a name. There was a name for that. It was
Dude, there were so many
the Light
accessories
Boy.
you could-
It was called the Light
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
there were so many accessories for the Game Boy. It was fucking crazy.
By the time you had that thing all done up, dude, it looked like you were fucking playing a
Carrying a TV
Transformer.
around.
Yeah, dude, you're just like fucking.
Just play a Nintendo. Like, this is not portable. It weighs 12 pounds. Like, this is.
That's why we were a little stronger.
Yeah.
That's also why we needed Jenko jean back pants, back pockets.
You put a whole PlayStation in there.
You could.
I had a PlayStation. I had an original, because I had a PlayStation
Yeah.
from the rip.
Yep.
So I've owned every generation of PlayStation.
My brother
But-
was a big PlayStation guy. He had all of them.
But the
Yeah.
Genesis, the thing I liked about the Genesis is that the fucking titles that came out on the Genesis were fucking unhinged. Like that's the system that like Shaq Fu came out on.
Fuck yeah, dude. I had Shaq Fu.
Shaquille O'Neal's fucking
yeah,
Mortal
dude.
Kombat ripoff.
Yeah.
But
It was weird because you played like a world.
yeah, it was nuts.
It was like Toe Jam and Earl and Mortal
Another
Kombat.
Genesis title.
Yeah.
Toe Jam and Earl, fucking when I first started playing Blitz, that was on Sega Genesis. That's how I know you could pause it forever because
Yep.
there was a cartridge. It didn't care. Like you just hit pause and it just
The two games that I will forever love on the original Nintendo system, and it's Duck Hunt
Attaboy.
and Legend of Zelda.
Legend of
the
Zelda.
original Zelda.
Yep.
Yeah.
The original Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite video games, hands down.
Have you seen
all
what
time.
that original gold cartridge is going for these days?
Fucking
That we
batshit.
all had.
All of us.
That gold Zelda cartridge.
My
because
dad,
when it came out,
still has my Nintendo with Duck Hunt, with the guns, with everything.
and
Now,
the
did you
gold
just have
cartridge
Duck
Zelda,
Hunt, or did you have the Mario / Duck Hunt combo?
the one that came with it.
The one that came with it.
What do you? The,
He had the combo because he's Jewish, so they bought the expensive one.
Guaranteed.
Because his dad looked at it. His dad looked at it and was like,
Oy vey.
This
You know?
is this is the best value. It cost me more if I bought it separate. So they just bought the best one.
I love how my dad has an accent.
And we've all met him too. And, like, I know what he sounds like.
It doesn't sound anything like that. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Holy
13 grand.
Yeah, well, that's a graded
That's
in the
never been
original.
used.
In the original box, that's one still sealed.
Yeah.
No, but just the cartridge, just the raw gold cartridge.
Like this one, $75.
Refurbished.
That's
also.
fake. You can tell by the finish. It's not chrome.
Yeah.
The original one was chrome.
Yeah, it looked like gold leaf.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, it's big money, dude.
Wow.
I'm going to make you guys really mad at me now, too. And I think we might have talked about it before also. But I also had one of the G.I. Joe aircraft carriers.
Oh, you fucking prick. I had one that was missing a bunch of pieces because I bought it at a thrift store.
The one I wanted was I wanted the mobile base that unfolded. The 3-tier one where it rolled out and then it unfold like a tackle box.
Well, I was going to say it turned into a carrying case, right?
Well, it was a vehicle.
Yeah.
No, the original one was about the size.
Oh, yeah.
The original one was about the size of this podcast table.
Yep.
And a little bit less wide, but length was.
You're talking about the aircraft carrier. Yeah, it's fucking huge.
Yep.
But yeah, I wanted that vehicle that turned into the base.
The coolest toy I had was the Ninja Turtles party wagon.
The one that shot peaches?
Fucking A. Fuck yeah, it did. Shot pizzas. The thing was awesome.
Out of the front,
Yep.
out of the fucking bumper. You
Fucking
loaded
A.
them in there.
Yep. Yeah.
See, this is why the 90s were so great.
It was so dude, it was a
Legit.
simpler time, bro. It was just a simpler
Well, there wasn't the
time.
internet.
Also, early 90s, I was big into Nerf.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Nerf didn't shoot. Everything now with Nerf shoots those darts. But back then,
They had the balls.
It was
and
the
little
ball
fucking-
and-
oh God, I would
and I had
murder
the
people.
I had the rotary fucking pump action. That,
Dude, remember the crossbow? The crossbow
that shot
fucking welts, dude.
arrows. Yeah.
That thing fucked people up,
Yeah,
man.
especially when we figured out that if you took them and you put them tip down in a bucket of fucking glue, it would harden the arrow and you could just fucking whack and just fucking
you gotta think,
destroy
dude,
somebody.
like paintball became a thing in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's when we learned you can freeze these and fuck people up. You know, like
By the
I mean,
way,
like,
if
there
you were
was so
in
many
this
things.
room and you ever had the dream of being on Legends of the Hidden Temple because you know you could get every artifact,
I want a part of the crag.
Go ahead and raise your hand if you had the dreams of being
Oh,
on
yeah.
Legends of the Hidden
Yep.
Temple.
Fuck yeah.
and you gotta throw it back to
I wanted a piece of the crag so bad.
on Nickelodeon. What the fuck was that?
On Global Guts, what, Double Dare?
Double Dare.
No,
All right, let's run through.
maybe it wasn't Nickelodeon.
Double Dare,
Legends
of the Hidden Temple,
No, it was the,
Global Guts.
Guts was awesome.
Well, there was Guts, and then there was Global Guts.
When
When
they
they
had
started
the tennis ball machine guns.
American
Oh,
Gladiator.
American Gladiator.
There we go.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Sorry,
the one
I
I
was
was
still
like, I'm on this.
I was
can
still
do this
doing.
all
I was
day.
still doing with the kid game shows because I was like,
we hadn't graduated.
because this is back
to
when
that
we used
yet.
to put children on game shows.
Laser. Laser.
And not
Blade.
and I don't mean like quiz shows. I mean these were like physically demanding game shows.
Yeah.
We were like,
Where kids were getting hurt.
yeah.
Like-
It's like,
And I want to, you cannot tell me that slime did not cause cancer later in life.
oh my God.
Every one of those kids got lymphoma.
all of them.
Fucking all of
Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
Did you hear they have the commercial now? It's like the 3M earplugs, but it's the AFFF, the firefighter spray they use in hangars in the military.
Yeah.
It's-
AFFF.
Now it's just that
Yeah.
slime.
Yeah.
Were
It's
you
the
one of the
same
ones
thing.
that dug around in the giant nose? You may be entitled to compensation.
Yes.
Justin,
But
you
we-
really want to know how the 90s were?
It was amazing.
We were talking about earlier.
Fucking incredible.
Well,
we also had toys that were designed to fuck you up. We had a toy
Like
in the 90s.
legitimately fuck
we had
you up.
We had a toy in the 90s called the Skip It.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And this was a
That should have just been called Ruin Your Ankle.
this was a 3-pound ball on the end of a plastic string.
That you hooked to one
And I
ankle.
don't mean string. It was like it
was-
was like the string that's in your weed eater, but on steroids.
It was cable. It was just cable.
And this shit would whip around and you were supposed to skip over it. But if you missed, you were eating concrete because you just tripwired yourself.
Or
It-
if,
like,
if
it was-
you get it going really fucking good and your buddy's not paying attention and you're just like, whack.
Yep. Yep.
I had one of those. Me and Jazz's middle brother got in a fight one time, and he fucking hit me with it.
Yep, that'll do it because it's a fucking mace.
Not
It's a
fun.
mace. It's a mace that
goddamn
straps
mace
to
that
your
you put on
ankle.
your leg.
Yeah, that's what exactly what it was. It was,
It was
a mace
insane.
that strapped to your ankle.
We also grew up in the era of Power Wheels, where you're like, you know what's a brilliant idea? Give all these kids a 12-volt vehicle system. They won't touch anything. It'll be fine.
That's how I learned series parallel, and because
you could double the speed if you parallel the battery.
Paralleled that motherfucker.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You were going.
I had a Power Wheels.
I drove that thing to the fucking 7-Eleven a mile away to buy my mom cigarettes.
Yep.
That's the 90s, motherfucker. Like, I have a note from my mom who says I can buy cigarettes.
The 90s
and
was
they were
also
like, got a note from his mom.
The 90s was also like the last era of three-wheelers.
Yes, because they were murdering people.
They legitimately were murder.
They were murdering
murder
people.
machines.
Yeah,
So now,
dude,
you have to have enough money to be able to murder yourself because Harley sells them like they're going out of fucking style.
You also used to be able to put a trampoline in your backyard and your homeowner's insurance wouldn't go up.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Also, we come from the era of trampolines in your backyard that didn't have a 10-foot net around it.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Like that
You used to put them up next to the shed so you can climb on the roof and jump off the shed onto the trampoline.
Yeah. Or
Or
if
into
you're
the
feeling
pool.
froggy, maybe you can try to make it on top of the shed
Yep.
that you're going to go through.
Either way.
You're going through the roof.
Yeah. Fucking those things. And you're just figuring out how to yeet your friend into the next
That's
yard. Just
Like,
fucking, hey, sit in the middle. We're going to double bounce you.
What's that?
By the way, how did we all have the same vernacular?
I was always the big kid.
It's the same reason we all thought Marilyn Manson could cut his ribs out.
Because we all knew
media ain't shit compared to us in fucking elementary school.
We all knew
Our
what a double
generation
bounce was.
elementary school.
Somehow, too, you could move states. Every school had foursquare fields painted on their fucking.
But the
shit,
rules
right?
never changed.
You could go anywhere, and it was like, all right, we're allowing bouncing, we're allowing bubbles, we're allowing double taps. It was like, yep, got it. Yep, all right, let's go.
Same game.
I just moved 1,000 miles, and the rules are still all of the playground rules are still the same.
You moved around a lot as a kid, as did I.
Yeah, same.
You know, they never changed.
No.
It was the same shit. That's why I think like racism and sexism and homophobia and all this shit, it's social constructs, man.
Yeah.
Because we were all kids in different areas multiple times, and everybody got along. Nobody gave a fuck.
What was the last school you saw with a tetherball in it?
Ooh,
Where they just put a medicine ball on the end of a rope that's on a pole out in the fucking.
And they're like, they'll figure it out.
Kids are getting fucking wrecked.
Napoleon Dynamite was the last time I've seen one.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude. Like, yeah. Fucking love me some tetherball.
You want to know why our generation all act like we can
Summer,
fucking
what,
take on the
baby?
world?
Because we did.
Yeah.
Because
Dude,
our toys were lethal.
Everything was trying to kill us.
Yeah, everything. All my playground equipment was steel.
And this is the same generation. They were like, here's a good idea. Let's send them to war for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Our generation's fucking untouchable. Like, we will fuck you up. All right? Like, we fucking battled Mad Max Fury Road in our fucking childhood. And then we went to war for 20 years. Like, we are fucking certifiable crazy.
We had big wheels.
Dude.
I had a big wheel with squirt guns built.
I had a tricycle
I had to
big
duct
wheel.
tape mine.
Because
I saw that commercial and I was jealous.
I had a tricycle big wheel that I wore holes in the tire from riding it so much.
Yeah.
And
then what we did,
stuck in there, and then
and then they
made a lot of noise.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But then what we did is where I grew up, we had a hill that had like a right hand turn into a cul-de-sac, and we'd tie a rope from the neck of the big wheel to the seat post of a bicycle. And then we'd haul ass down the hill, and the bicycle would try to get as much speed, towing that big wheel. Somebody back there, no helmet, no nothing, just fucking holding on to this plastic piece of shit.
With your feet separated because your pedals.
Because the pedals, and you're like, whoa! And come around this turn, and they'd stop in the center of the cul-de-sac, and you try to whip and drift your big wheel all the way around. That was the whole goal of all of it. You want to talk about getting fucked up.
Yeah. Or the fucking fact that we also had wagons, which just turned into how many people can I fit in the wagon? And what's the biggest hill I can find?
Yeah, and then you just grab the handle and you pull it in. That's your steering wheel.
Yep. Because how do we stop it at the bottom? Just hit the curb.
That's
just
it.
Turn it and hit the curb. Everybody launches into the grass. You're fucking fine.
Everybody laughs. They get up. We go do it again.
Yeah. It's fucking fine.
Fuck.
Now I talk to these fucking new parents and they're like, well, my car seat's $900. And I'm like,
you had a car seat?
What? I'm like, bro, I grew up, every vehicle had a bench seat. All of them.
Yeah.
Like everything had a bench seat. Where were you strapping this fucking, now all these fucking cars have like 17 anchor points in it to hold the car seat and And I'm like.
It's like, you didn't hook it up right. I put the fucking seatbelt around it. What do you mean I didn't hook it up
that's
right?
how mine worked. You set it on the seat and a seatbelt went around it.
That's it.
It's good. Now it's like, no, we got multiple anchor points and you're doing this. It's like, Bro, this is why we have overpopulation.
Because
We're saving too many.
Face off a metal dashboard anymore.
Nobody's fucking eating the steering wheel. Like this is fucking. It's all too safe.
Fucking OSHA.
What we need is we need a server. We need a server fucking queue. It is just like, look, no, you can't bring one in until another one goes out. Like that's it. It's fucking. We have a cap.
I think China tried to do that.
They did.
I don't know if it worked.
No, because they can't govern it. There's too many of them already.
Out of all the people, they could govern it.
It was too little, too late at that point. They were like, "Fuck, we're at 1 billion plus." Well, and then the problem is they were like, "You can keep it if it's a girl." It's like that's the one that makes them. You can't. Like what?
And now they're running into labor shortages. And all the sweatshops, they don't have enough kids to work all the machinery anymore.
It's because everybody's fucking leaving.
No, it's because they're all old.
Yeah, everybody
told
aged
them
out.
they couldn't have kids.
Fucking wild.
They aged
God,
out. Can't work for Nike anymore.
No, that's all right.
No, you got to go to Apple.
Yeah. What are you, 12? Bro. What are you, 10 years on the job? You're getting ready.
You GM of the plant or what?
You're fucking retiring at this point. This is our foreman. She just
retired from the
graduated
sweatshop
from
to go work in the fields.
Yeah. Gotta go make rice.
Gonna go feed the workers now.
God, I miss the 90s.
They were fun. They were a lot of fun.
The only thing I don't miss about the 90s is what we decided every car, muscle car down to a sensible little sedan,
Bubble.
everything had 200 horsepower. Everything.
And it had to look like a bubble by the
And it had to be a bubble. But it was 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what it was. I drive a Corvette. It's 200 horsepower. Well, I drive a Honda Civic. Yeah, it's 200 horsepower. It's like
but it's got the VTEC.
it's like popping VTEC bitches. So it was awesome. I also miss starter jackets.
Oh, so much. I really do. I had a Carolina Tar Heels one, and I had no fucking idea what team it was.
Everybody's starter jacket came from North Carolina.
That was it?
All of them. Because I had a Charlotte Hornets one. I don't give a fuck about the Hornets.
I didn't even know what sport they played.
But do you know why everybody had a Carolina one? All the Carolina teams had the best colors.
They did.
So you either had one for the Bulls, because we grew up in the era of Jordan. So you either had one for the Bulls, or they came out of North Carolina. Or you thought you were hard, so you bought a Raiders one.
Yeah.
There was all those, and you know the ones I'm talking about. That was like, oh, you know, the Raiders one. It was like, okay. But all the rest of it, I had a Charlotte Hornets one. Why? Because it was fucking teal and purple. Like it was bright as fuck.
I think mine was like
white
aqua
baby
and
blue,
yellow.
Yeah.
I had one that was that, and I had the white and baby blue. Yeah. And Jenko jeans.
I had so many Jinko jeans.
Yeah.
I remember those conversations too. You'd fucking get your new pair of Jinkos, and it was like, this is pair number 7.
You gotta call man.
Oh shit!
Like, those are 40-inch. Oh, they are. Oh yeah, they are.
I had the skunks, the ones that had the fucking black and white stripe on the side of them.
I think the only thing that I wanted when I was in the 90s and I never got was the Adidas all black with 3 white stripes on the side, or all white with the black stripes.
So I had the black and white one because I was a massive Korn fan.
Yeah.
And if Jonathan Davis had it, I fucking had it.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that was it. Like, you got to think, there was no internet. So trying to, like, how did Jenko get where they were?
Gadzooks.
And Hot Topic.
It was Gadzooks. So Hot Topic was the whole, like, nobody can catch me in here. Like, you can't know I went to Hot Topic.
Right.
But Gadzooks was like all the shit that was on MTV. Yeah. If somebody was wearing it on MTV, it was in Gadzooks.
Right.
That's why all of us had fucking wallet chains. Did you had a wallet chain, or you had a wallet chain that was made out of those little balls?
Yep.
And if you had the wallet chain that was made out of little balls, you had the necklace that matched it. Mm-hmm. But fucking...
It like came as a set.
Yeah. And it's like a dog chain. It's like a dog tag chain.
Right.
Just fucking huge. Mm-hmm. We all had Jinkos.
Yep.
For some reason, every white guy on the planet knew what Kangol was.
Yeah.
And all of us had a fucking some sort of red baseball cap.
Yeah.
And why did everything we could buy have Japanese kanji on it?
Dave just texted me and he goes, if you're talking 90s shit, Don't skip the East Bay catalog.
Oh, no shit. But Gadzooks, man, you could go in Gadzooks. You could buy Jinko jeans, a bunch of fucking stickers.
Yeah.
A visor.
Oh, yeah, because visors were big.
Visors were big. And all of the music that was currently being played in TRL's Top 20. They had all the fucking albums in that store, too.
Yeah, that's when you used to have to buy CDs.
Yeah.
Or tapes. And
I remember when like one person would get the CD and then everybody would get together so you could listen to it.
Or one guy had the ability to be able to burn it.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No shit.
Because his dad had one of the dual players.
But that was also so that we grew up in the era though when they started putting the parental warnings on albums.
Right.
And a bunch of parents took it seriously. So you couldn't buy albums that had the parental guidance thing on it. But then you'd have like that one kid whose parents didn't check his shit and he was able to buy those albums. That's also, if anybody wants to know why we all had those fake leather binders that had all your fucking CDs
because it
in it.
Didn't have the parental
because
advisory
the CD didn't have the parental advisory thing on it.
I remember I had one like all the way through high school and everything. It was completely full. It was one of those really thick ones that held 4 inches.
Yeah, where you had to like push it and zip it shut. I did.
And I was.
Did it have that horrible textured leather exterior on it?
No, mine was like a nylon.
Oh, mine. I had the.
Essentially, it was a big 3-ring binder.
I had the horrible fucking fake leather one. Yeah.
But I remember I was flying somewhere and I left it on the plane, but I didn't realize it until I already left the airport.
So it was just your carry on at that point.
But I was so mad because it had like, at the time, it was like thousands of dollars worth of CDs in it. And now it's just like, oh, I could just go download it.
I think I literally threw that binder away like 2 years ago.
I still have one that has movies in it for my rack.
Oh, no.
That is cool.
I mean the one I had like through high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, or that tape deck adapter when you finally were able to buy a Discman so you could plug your CD player into the tape deck.
Oh, getting an anti-skip Discman was the best. The one, it was like the Sony with the yellow on it.
Yeah, the yellow one, yeah.
And it would like clip
and it
together.
came with those weird yellow headphones that where the speakers faced forward.
And then the first thing you did is you put in music and then you shook the shit out of it trying to
see
get
if it worked.
Skip.
Yep. God.
Man.
Loved it.
Those are the days.
You also had like schedules. Like TRL came out at 4:00.
Yeah. And it's not like you can miss it.
No, because you can't repeat it. Like if you weren't there at 4:00, you didn't.
There was no DVR.
Nope.
Uh-uh.
So yeah, TRL came out at 4:00. So you'd get home, fucking get your after school snack, and then fucking
watching music videos.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch my music. What a time to be alive.
I mean, kids these days, they don't know the sense of urgency when you're watching a TV show and the commercial break comes on and you either go to the bathroom or you go to the kitchen and then it comes back on and everyone yells, "It's back on." And you're literally jumping hurdles, pole vaulting over shit, diving through the fucking over the island in the kitchen to get to the TV.
I literally think because everything is, look, there's huge advantages to the fact that everything is now on demand. Right? Information is crazy on demand. You don't have to miss anything. Like everything is where you want it. But it's taken away the value of everything too. And now there's not anything to talk about. Like, like before the show, and I was telling him about that new music.
Yeah.
And it was like, I can just let you listen to it right fucking now.
Yeah.
It's like
here, let me look it up.
Here you go. This is the song. And it was like, before it was like, bro, have you heard the new album? And it's like, no. And it's
no, wait. Let's go to Steve's house because his dad has a great stereo system.
Yeah, we'll go over there. And it's like there was a value to everything because it took time investment. Like it was, you had to not do something else in order to do that. And now, or I could just do it all at once and it doesn't fucking matter.
I think it helped with like a decision-making process, like the learning how to make decisions. Because now, like, I feel like there's so many people that get stuck and that can't make a decision on something because they have so much accessibility to whatever.
But that's the definition of analysis paralysis. You're able to do so much fucking homework and find out so fucking much that then you just don't. Like, I love the people that are like, it's got a 4-star rating, but I read this one review.
Yeah, so
I'm like, but what you're not putting into the conversation of, okay, but that guy could also be fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Like, for all you know, he just has no idea what he's doing with it.
And that's 90% of bad reviews.
Yeah, it's like, so people just don't. What I love is then they don't, but then complain about the fact that they haven't.
Right. Oh, Mikey's back. Good.
That was fast.
I got something I want to bring up from the 90s that is mainly a Massachusetts thing.
Oh, good. I'm going to go pee.
And it has to do with exactly what we're talking about with music.
What are we talking
And
about?
it was called Newberry Comics.
Newberry Comics. Oh, shit, dude. Fucking A.
Yes. So
There you
Newberry
go.
Comics is a comic book store and a music shop. And they had multiple locations all around Massachusetts. One of them was downtown. I think it was on Boylston Street in Boston. And if you
That sounds right.
if you wanted music in the 90s, you went to Newberry Comics.
Well,
or you ordered from
BMG.
yeah.
Fucking- I think I still owe money to BMG.
Yeah. Right. 'Cause I used to sign up underage. And then they send everything, then they send money. My mom would be like, he's not 18 yet. And they're like, oh, okay, never mind. And they just write it off.
Yeah. That's how everybody got Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette.
Yeah. The number of albums that were in circulation versus the number of her albums that were purchased.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see those stats.
Dude, that's how I know who Natalie Imbruglia is. It's also where I got Sexy Candy, where I got my Marcy Playground CD.
I smell sex.
We're talking BMG music.
Oh, shit. I have paid them 3 pennies, and I think I owe them like $7,000.
And
I was like, I definitely still owe them money.
You fill it out to send it in, you check off everything you want, and you tape a penny onto it, and you send.
How did that system have no age verification?
And I was just saying, like, I'd sign up like over and over and over, and then they get the bill, and my mom would call and be like, "He's under 18," and they're like, "Oh, sorry," and they write it off. And they're like, "Yeah, nothing we can do."
Fucking batshit.
God damn.
Batshit crazy.
God damn.
Yeah, man.
God, I miss the 90s.
The 90s were cool. The 90s were a good time.
Do y'all remember the Tick?
Car phones.
Spoon.
You guys remember car phones from the 90s?
Like,
They used to
legit
come
car
in a little
phones?
like a little briefcase
in the bag.
Fuck yeah. And that was before the Zach Morris phone.
Yep.
So this you're talking like 91, 92.
Yeah, early.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the Zach Morris, the brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was with that color? Every electronic in the 90s, if it wasn't
Was that
like
gray?
it was that weird gray taupe color.
It was Nintendo.
Yeah,
gray.
Nintendo. NES. That's what started it.
But then like it was either that color or black, and that was it.
Yeah.
But every computer was like eggshell colored.
You know why? Is because the guys who made it,
I think that was
designed
I think that was just the smoke in the room dyed it that color.
No, if you bought a brand new one, like I remember buying my Packard Bell 486.
Those
Commodore
were those were
64.
all those kids working in the sweatshop.
Oh, they were sitting there
smoking.
smoking.
Yeah, every Apple IIe looked exactly the same. Dog.
Because I've been a nerd for a very, very long time. Like a very, very long time. I love the guys that come in and be like, I've been in this for 15 years. And I'm like, that's a fucking
That's
adorable.
You're cute. You're cute.
And I'm like, I've been doing this since I was 8. Like,
I told a kid the other day that I was stacking bodies in Fallujah when he got his first boner.
I had a guy in the store. I had a guy in my store 2 days ago came to me and he was like, man, for somebody that holds tournaments and does all this stuff, you don't take the game very seriously. And I was like, go to War and back. See if plastic dolls really fucking do it for you anymore.
Right? Yeah. Once you see people die in front
I'm like,
of you, bro.
I'm down for the game. Like I like to play, but I play as escapism. I don't play to fucking get all sweaty and fucking bent out of shape around it. Like it's a fucking game. And I was like, so my advice to you is find something more important than the fact that you push plastic dolls on a table and roll dice. It's not that fucking serious.
It's supposed to be fun, man.
Yeah, it's a goddamn game.
It's a game.
The company that you were taking so seriously is called Games
Speaking
Workshop.
of games in the 90s. That's when Dungeons and Dragons got big.
No, that's when the Satanic Panic happened.
Oh, I don't know what that was.
Okay, so
Because I got into Dungeons and Dragons probably
we're gonna go super nerdy.
mid-90s.
Are you ready?
96
Yeah.
was the
All right.
first time I did it.
95,
Yes.
96.
The only time I did it.
So here's the deal. So the reason that most of the mid 90s people started playing D&D is that thing like Walden Books
Mm-hmm.
started carrying D&D books. So they started carrying them in actual bookstores. So you didn't have to go to the little fucking strip center,
Hastings.
Hastings and stuff. Started carrying it.
Yeah.
So a lot of that actually has to do with a game called Magic the Gathering that was part of Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast acquired Dungeons and Dragons.
I started with Magic. Yeah.
The only reason I ever played D&D was because my upstairs neighbor was into it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And so
Because again, it's the 90s. You hung out with people around you.
Because D&D started in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it had this kind of cult following through the 80s. And then in the 90s is when we went into that. There was so as much as we talked about the 90s were the fucking Wild West and the shit that we put safety on didn't really exist. But then there was nut stuff. Like when you were gone, we were talking about music and the parental advisory thing, thanks to fucking...
Oh, Tipper Gore.
Tipper Gore.
Yeah.
Got that stupid parental advisory.
Or was that Nancy Reagan or was that Tipper Gore?
It's Tipper Gore.
It's Tipper Gore.
Yeah. So the Satanic Panic happened...
Nancy was the circle, say no to drugs.
The Satanic Panic started in the late 80s, really got steam in the early 90s. And that was just the whole, any role-playing game. D&D was just the poster child for it. But any of this escapism stuff where you had another character, you rolled the dice, and you were fighting monsters and demons and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. So harmless.
It was bad. But the Dungeons and Dragons thing, it became, they're all worshiping the devil. And it's like, did you look at the game? Because you're actually playing like a paladin who takes a holy oath to go fight the evil. Like that was like,
you're
that's
basically
actually
playing as a Templar man.
like that was actually the gameplay. So, but there was this.
I was a drow elf.
See?
That was my character.
Yeah, which is essentially just a displaced species. So like they just essentially got like, nobody likes you, go away. And they like gave them the shitty parts of the land. It was Trail of Tears, the game.
I had scimitars.
Yeah.
In my game. I remember that.
And stay tuned, folks. I'm going to fucking have a Freedom Friends D&D campaign before this is over. You fucking enough, hold on.
Like I remember a remarkable amount about that fucking D&D game. Shit. I can't remember shit that happened last fucking week.
But do you know why?
No.
Because you invest.
And I'm concerned.
It's because of the social paradigm that comes along with role-playing.
Yeah.
It's the role-playing game system of it. It's not about you remember the game. It's that you remember the event that's surrounding it because you're there. It's collaborative storytelling. This is no different than when you go on a hunt and all of you are sitting around a bonfire and everybody starts telling stories while you're there.
Yeah.
And you open up and you tell about that. When you're doing something like D&D, it's all of you creating the story together. And storytelling is the oldest hobby that humans have. It's where movies come from. It's where books come from. It's all of that. It's storytelling. So when you get to be part of storytelling and it's not just you are making the story with the people around you, that shit's going to embed. You're going to hold on to it because you are creating the story that you then get to tell stories about.
In modern day times, that's why a lot of people have role-playing kinks.
Because it clicks in.
All making sense.
Yeah.
Bunch of weirdos.
It's raw
You're just being groomed in the 90s, bud.
Yeah.
The 90s was just grooming. That's all it was, man.
It's raw creation. At that point, it's go like, sure, this is your guy, this is your weapon. After that, everything is your fucking decision and you get to control it all. And the entire world is under your control.
Yeah.
And that's why people get hooked into it. It's why you find guys that are, 50, 60, 70 years old and they're like, I've been in the same D&D campaign for 40 years. And these guys are CEOs. I mean, you have guys now that are on the cover of Muscle and Fitness, they're superstars, or all this stuff, and you find out that they've been playing D&D the whole fucking time. And it's not about the game. It truly is about that social paradigm of everybody sitting at the table at the same time. There's nothing digital. There's nothing. It's all just this storytelling mechanic. The table just becomes the bonfire. Yeah. That's all that is. That's why you're holding on to it like that.
That makes sense.
That's why I've invited so many guys to play with me. You're like, this is fucking gay. And it's like, okay.
I've never said it was.
Never said it was gay. I said it was. It reminds me of TDGs. It reminds me of tactical decision games.
Well, that's Warhammer. That's why I want you to play it, because you're going to play it one time and go, motherfucker. And it's like, yeah,
it's grunt shit. It's tactical decision games. Yeah.
The dice aspect of it.
It's like doing a fucking sand table fucking.
Yeah. But
like brief.
The dice aspect of it is something that the Army really needs to integrate, because the dice aspect of it that's
the randomization.
That's the randomization. That's
chaos. It's chaos.
It's strictly chaos there. You're just introducing the fact of like, cool, you made all the right moves, you're in all the right positions, and now
I just rolled a 14, so you're fucked.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know about chaos theory is because fucking Jurassic Park came out in the 90s. Which incidentally was the very first movie I went to the movie theater by myself to watch.
Which still holds up. Have you watched Jurassic Park recently?
I've watched
still
it.
A great
still
movie.
holds up.
Yeah.
So Haley and I had this idea the other day. We wanted to do like nostalgic movies and do like a nostalgic movie marathon, like shit that was on like when you were home sick from school, or
OG Karate Kid.
OG Karate Kid, that's on the list. Twister, that's on the list.
Did you? Oh God, I think you and I talked about. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
That doesn't need a sequel.
They're remaking Twister.
They're not remaking it. It's a sequel. It's called Twisters.
You can't.
You can't.
Fuck off.
You can't.
Yeah.
I'm so mad about it.
Bill Paxton, I'm out.
For one, there's only 2 vehicles that they could use that would do the same that Dodge Ram did.
One of them is a tank.
No, it would be the T-Rex or it would be the new Raptor.
Yeah.
That was it. But like,
Correct.
you can't really redo Twister. You can't add on to that story.
There's no sequel either. It's
ended.
an act of God. You can't. There's no sequel.
It ended with an F5, man.
By the way, they hugged each other and strapped themselves to a well. And there was an F5. They stood in the middle of the finger of God.
Yeah. After they saved Aunt May an $8 steak.
Yeah.
And sent Dorothy up, like, we're done. Yeah. And then they showed that thing, and there was still just a Dorothy in the back of a Ram. And I was like, you sons of bitches. By the way, that Dodge, that specific Ram 1500 with liability only on it is the only Dodge that I will give permission to.
I bought that after I got out of the Army. I bought that Dodge.
Single cab.
My buddy had that. He had that Dakota. He had
I had the same
98
white with the blue.
It was the 98 Dodge Dakota, red, fucking everything.
Yep.
It looked exactly like the one.
But that Dodge 1500 single cab with liability only.
Yep.
That's the only Dodge I'm giving a pass to. And you better have Dorothy in the back of it.
So, you know how there was a thing called 80s cute?
Yeah.
Like Molly Ringwald was 80s cute.
I don't know, dude. Molly Ringwald from the 80s even now?
Molly would still get it. It's probably
Not
a bad
current
example.
Molly.
That's probably a bad example.
But you look at it like...
Look at what's her name? Kelly McGillis from fucking Top Gun. She was hot as fuck in the 80s.
Yep.
But that woman, if you brought her into today's...
She's hot in that movie.
But she wouldn't be hot now.
No.
You know, or
she's not even soap opera pretty now.
Right. Well, not now, but I'm talking about her back then.
Right.
Bring her now.
To standard. Like, if that exact everything tried to get her into nope.
And I believe that there's a similar phenomenon in the 90s.
Do you think that they could redo G.I. Jane?
Probably. They're going to.
Probably.
Now that you've said it, we're going to see it this summer.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Probably.
You ever watch Star Trek Next Generation?
Yeah.
Counselor Troy.
So hot.
Deanna Troy from that fucking movie.
So hot.
That's because we remember seeing her in the 90s and going like, God damn.
Yeah.
In that fucking bodysuit.
Can confirm.
Put her up against any superstar now.
Oh, see, it's a different time though.
Exactly.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like 90s hot was
also
different
90s.
Than, like,
we didn't know what makeup did in the 90s. By the way,
we didn't know what, we didn't know what contouring was. And
no,
all
it's
that
not
shit.
even that. I'm just talking like
in general.
Makeup in the 90s was, can it make me look older? That's the goal.
Yeah.
Because to give you an idea, our wives are just shy of the age of the Golden Girls.
Yeah. Yeah. And our wives look great.
Yeah, like, I love you to death. And I don't mean this in any, like, because I would never do anything untoward. If I didn't know you and I was single, Haley'd get it.
Oh,
100%.
Oh, I'd smash.
100% would try and fucking close down on Haley.
Caitlin would get smashed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
It like,
yeah.
just is what it is.
You and I are also into diesel powered ass.
Yeah, I do. Oh,
you and I are both into that.
Yeah.
John's just like,
I want that shit built like.
I'm sorry. I'm not talking about banging my friends' wives.
Well, we're not either. It's a hypothetical situation. Yeah. But our point is that girls who grew up in the 90s, and I would even extend this into, say, about 2005.
I'm not going to lie, though.
like I would.
I'm not going to lie, though. Fucking Rose from the Golden Girls.
100%.
Yeah, she'd have gotten it.
Yes.
She'd have fucking gotten it.
Yes.
She knew how to throw it down, too.
Fucking A.
I think in that show, she's like 41.
I don't know. I would have smashed Betty White like 3 years ago before she died.
First off, we all
talked
talked about
that
on this show. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so like, you know where the standard is. And the standard is, what's the standard?
Or to
Look at
Betty White. Yep. Fucking could get it.
Oh, Betty.
What about Topanga?
Oh,
dude, I just saw a video this
She's
morning.
still hot.
She's still hot.
Still hot as shit.
She actually did hold up.
Yeah.
She aged remarkably well. Remarkably well. Well, and look at like Tiffany Amber Thiessen, right? Like Kelly Kapowski was like every dude's first fucking boner our age. You know what I mean? Like that was a normal thing to see. Everybody wanted to be Zach Morris, probably because of the hair and the phone and the ability to stop time. That was cool.
You brought up Kelly, and now I'm already hard.
Yeah.
Like this show has to go another 15 minutes just because I can't get up.
You can't stand up right.
No.
Yeah. Like, dude, and like even
Actually, that whole fucking cast, that whole female
Jesse,
cast,
fucking Lisa Turtle,
all of them.
dude. Yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
A. All of them. It was just hot people. It was just super hot
And all
motherfuckers, man.
Saved by the Bell was
That was
just-
fuck Slater.
Nobody-
That's not even gay.
that entire show. Nobody could act. They all could get it. Like it was
Fucking
just
A,
like it was
dude.
just like, what if we just put a whole bunch of pretty people in
Dude,
high school?
How hard
yeah.
was
They're like,
the
it doesn't
hardest
matter if they can act or not. People are gonna watch it.
dude? The hardest role on that show was Mr. Belding because he had to fucking do it with it taped down. Guarantee you.
Dude. Screech had more game in that fucking show than I ever had in high
True.
school.
Reach went
That
on to
is
do
so
porn.
Obviously. Like,
Some shit went down.
He's-
R.I.P. Dustin Diamond.
he's backstage. He's like, man, I really missed my calling.
all of that shit, man.
Telling you.
Like, wow, God, what else was great in media from the 90s? We did a lot of hard. Fuck, Young Guns?
Yeah.
Oh, make it famous.
Fucking Young Guns?
Yes.
Dude, there's all this shit now that like Yellowstone came out and all this shit and everybody wanted to be a fucking cowboy. And I'm like, Young Guns. Young Guns made me want to be a fucking cowboy.
Dude.
Like that was,
Fucking A.
and then
Tombstone came out. That was fucking
Young Guns
awesome.
came out and Brooks and Dunn behind it, made a song. Just said, I should have been a cowboy.
you're like,
It's like,
Goddamn right.
they're fucking, yeah.
Who you just saw on Saturday.
I did. I just saw.
I was gonna say they were there Saturday. I saw Cheap Trick
At
on
what?
Friday.
BJ's Brew House? What
No,
the fuck
the
is Brooks
rodeo.
and Dunn doing
At the
now?
rodeo.
Played at the rodeo.
Oh, that's
San Antonio
why.
rodeo.
It's like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, not yes and
If
no.
you're playing the rodeo, you haven't been relevant in probably 30.
no, because there's other. It depends on the night.
I was there on Cheap Trick night. I can't fucking counter that. I can't counter that argument. We went to Alabama last
We went to
year,
Alabama.
bro.
I also saw Robert Earl Keen, which now he's been playing for like 32 years.
Yeah.
And depending on where you're at, in the
Bro, that's just the
country-
mid 90s.
What I know, right? Where you're at, depending on where you're at in the country,
It's just
true.
the mid 90s.
It is very true.
Yeah.
But depending on where you're at in the country, it's either still relevant music or it's old country.
So
Here
here's
in
the funny
Texas,
part.
it's still relevant music.
I'm going to a concert Friday.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too.
Who are you going to see?
Big and Rich, Gretchen Wilson.
So I'm going to see the
That's
Dead.
what the road
I'm
is
going to see the
about.
Dead South on Friday.
Oh fuck yeah!
I'm going to see the Dead South at the Aztec.
Yep.
So another nerd friend of mine found out I was a huge Dead South fan. He started listening to it. He was like, "Fuck, this is good." So that he bought tickets for us to go see the Dead South, and we have floor tickets, so we're like
Nice.
on the stage to
Yeah.
go see the Dead South. And but the funny thing is that Dead South is, how would you describe the Dead South? I call them Southern Gothic, but they
Yeah, I
are
I don't
like
know who the fuck this is.
the Dead
Oh
South.
my god!
No idea.
Afterwards, we'll show you.
Yeah, we're gonna show you the Dead South. It's
They're good.
like I still have to go buy a hat because I'm
See-
not going to this concert without the fucking hat.
I was very happy hearing their music, and when I saw one of their music videos, I was like, "Oh, I fucking love these guys."
Well,
Was it Good Company?
It was
The video, the video for Good Company is amazing.
That was like the first that I saw of them, and it was just like, "Oh my god!"
So they
Like-
just dropped a new. So they
This
dropped.
is what they look like.
So they dropped a new album a week ago. So we're going to see the first concert. It's their first live show after that album came.
Yeah,
So I have a feeling it's mostly going to be the new stuff.
yeah.
Obviously they're going to do it, but like if you watch the Red Rocks concert,
I haven't.
so and we've talked about this. I'm not a huge country fan,
Yeah.
except for 90s stadium country.
Okay.
I fucking love 90s stadium country. This new shit that's out there, first off, it's not country. It's just not.
people argue that 90s stadium country isn't country either.
Sure it was. It's rodeo big. It's all it is. It's just big stage rodeo. It's all that is.
Well, I think Garth Brooks. That's 90s stadium
Garth
country
Brooks,
to me.
Tim McGraw, Kenny Chesney,
Bro,
Brooks and Dunn,
Yeah.
Brooks-
Montgomery Gentry.
yeah. I went to the fucking George Strait Country Music Festival, and it was just that lineup.
That was it?
And it was 3 days fucking long. It was 3 days long. There was 150,000 people there. Like,
my very first concert.
so are you going to say that George Strait country?
Yes.
Yeah.
George Strait pulled 150,000 people for 3 days fucking straight. And that was everything
from... He would do it right now today, too.
And that was from George Strait all the way down to Asleep at the Wheel. They were all there.
That's my point, though, is my very first concert I ever went to at 4 years old was George Strait.
Yeah.
I was 4.
But that lineup he just said that is stadium country.
My only question is, where are the bodies, G? I want to know where the fucking bodies are buried, Garth.
But that lineup he just gave was the George Strait Country Music Festival, and that is the definition of stadium country. Yeah. So if stadium country isn't fucking country, then you're saying George Strait isn't country.
Well, I don't like country though, so I don't. So by that rationale is I don't really have a frame.
First off, country now is apparently you have a stupid truck you throw with fucking Slurpee at.
Well, so as of this week, Beyonce is country.
Yeah, so I give up. I give up. Modern country.
I saw some people post about Beyonce's song, and where essentially was like, give her a chance. It's not bad.
I've seen mixed reviews.
Right. And I've
not listened to this song. I have no idea.
It's cool. Post Malone's country too.
So I listened to it,
which is weird because they already had Jelly Roll. So I don't.
Yeah, why do we need
which is just fat Post Malone.
Half of
Post Malone's working on it.
I thought
half of Jelly Roll's songs actually sound country. The other half, I don't know what the fuck.
That's because he has. Well, he's got a writer.
I thought Jelly Roll was just some dude who ate Post Malone. No,
and a couple other people.
Yeah,
and a couple other.
He's just fat.
But he's got a hot wife, so props to him.
Bunny.
Yeah,
the funny thing is, Bunny, I think, actually has a bigger following on like TikTok and podcasts and all this stuff than Jelly Roll does.
Wonder why.
Jelly Roll's story is actually really cool, though.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's fine. His music's just shit.
I like some of his songs.
I think he's a good dude.
Huh?
Whoever writes his shit knows what they're doing.
They did because they have good meaning to them. There's the story that is told, and
whoever writes his shit.
The country songs that I like are the songs that are story.
You don't get to show up to the CMAs on a donk. You don't get to do it.
The new country songs
baby.
that they just have they have a riff, they have a chorus, and a couple lines in between. Whatever, I don't fucking care. But if it tells a good story, and that's why I'm a huge fan of Texas country music.
Then Kesha is country by that definition.
Bo Burnham did a great fucking song
story
about. Bo Burnham did a great song about stadium country and about how it's dishonest, and he makes sense about it. And granted, he's a comedian, so it's a bit, but he made a fucking song that was kind of a bop. Fuck, it was all right.
About stadium country.
About stadium country.
I love stadium country, but it's awesome. But the reason it's awesome is that it's lifestyle music. It's not, as you said, storyteller music. It's lifestyle music. I love the Dead South, but they literally have they have a song about fucking your cousin.
Yeah.
I shit you not, and it's in the lyrics. She's like, she may be my cousin, but she'll get sweet loving anyways. It's in the fucking song.
See, to me, that's country.
What's the name of the band?
The Dead South.
Yeah.
But I am 90% of the music I listen to. So my music preferences are fucked. It's a lot of new metal. It's a lot of shit like I showed you, Electric Callboy. And then it's gothic, it's Southern Gothic music. And Southern Gothic music is all of the whole, it's an obsession with death and how close death is to sex and the whole night. It's all this crazy visceral shit.
I have a weird fucking mixture of music.
Well, then
I actually thought about it earlier today.
And crunk if I'm doing work.
Crunk's on there, but I'll go from crunk. I'll go from Lil Jon and the East Side Boys to Kesha to fucking Brooks and Dunn to fucking Morgan Wallen to fucking
that guy
to
I can't
fucking Dr. Dre.
I can't stand his fucking music.
But I'll fucking go
that Waylon guy,
Morgan Wallen.
He's trying to be fucking Southern Gothic, and I can't stand his shit.
Well, I mean, he was on The Voice.
Awful.
That gives you a fucking.
It's awful. There's a couple that I get no passes. Colt Ford, he gets no passes. Your music sucks. If you ever see that, it's awful. It's awful. Stop. Go fucking work at Enterprise Rent-A-Car or some shit. You're awful. So I think I heard John's feelings. John got quiet.
No. We were talking about weird music, and so it brought me to a band that my tattoo artist introduced me to, and it was amazing. and it's called Go Girl Go Goal Bordello, and it is like
Google Bordello. They're fucking solid.
It's like Hasidic Jewish punk rock, and it's amazing. Well, because I sat down for like an 8 or 10 hour session, and my tattoo artist Corey is just like, "What do you want to listen to, man?"
What'd you get done?
It was when I was getting my arms done, so I would just sit for 10 hours at a time. And
I was like, bro, I don't think you've got new ink since I met you.
No, this was 2000 between 2010 2012.
When was your last tattoo?
Rotan last year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, before that.
Oh fuck, it's been years.
That's a good question. What was your last ink?
That's a great
I know.
This.
Yeah.
My ship on my leg.
When was it?
Fuck, this was done at the Baltimore Tattoo Museum, so probably 2010-ish, 2011.
Mine was 2012. That was the last piece of ink I had.
Maybe 12. It might have been 12.
You know what sucks is that it was a rework of one I already had because the last guy fucked it up. So I had to go see another tattoo artist to have him fucking fix it. So I've gotten the same tattoo twice.
Do you know why I have surfboards here instead of the nautical fucking star going all the way around?
Did they put the colors on the wrong side?
They fucked up one of it. They fucked this one up.
And the red and the black was in the wrong position?
He was like, oh, fuck. I called him. I was like, did you just fuck that up? And he goes, fuck. And I was like, fucking do something, man. And he was like, surfboards it is. And I was like, yeah, it works. I was like, yeah, it works.
I think my last one was like 2000, I don't know, 17.
I'm not going to lie. When I had to get that one redone, and so get the same tattoo twice and sit through, because it's the one that's here. So it hits my collarbone and like goes around my nipple and shit. And when you sit through that twice and you only have one piece of ink, it was like, I'm done. I'm fucking.
I fell asleep during this tattoo, man.
When I got my chest piece done, I fell asleep.
I was like,
so the problem is, it was the first one. The dude was heavy handed as shit.
Yeah,
and just leaned into me and did it all with fucking gray wash.
Yeah.
Dude, when I got my birds done, I have dead sparrows on the inside of my arm.
That one.
When I got those, the dude used a fucking 9 mag on me, and it's just hamburger meat hanging out of my fucking arms.
When they got in between the muscles.
And it looked like shit. And then so I had to get this one redone. And I was just like, fuck you, man.
I just can't do it. And then I've got one on my back that I kept talking about getting covered.
He's a 9 wide on that little tattoo.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I've got one on my back. I keep if you've been to the river with me, you've seen it. So like you've seen it and stuff. I've got one on my back and it looks like ass.
Yeah.
And I should get it covered, but I don't. And I don't because I was 18 when I got it.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder of fucking do your due diligence and fucking check your shit
the one on my
before
back
you make a call.
It was a jailhouse tattoo with Indian ink and a staple originally.
Nice.
And then my buddy tried to fix it with a homemade gun. And now, fucking 30 years later, it itches all the time. It's like...
It's wild to think that
if I could take a potato peeler and take that fucking thing off, I would.
20 plus years old now.
I've had tattoos more than half my age old. Like I've had tattoos longer than I have.
I have been tattooed longer than I have not been tattooed.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. What was your first one?
Where? When?
Both.
Actually, my first one was just the words "Made in the USA."
Okay,
and it was when I was 16, and I walked into the tattoo shop and I wanted it to look like a little gold sticker on the bottom of my foot. Like, on the dolls that said made in China.
Yeah.
I wanted it to say made in the USA.
Oh, that's fun.
So I walked in and I'm like, yep, I want it right here, just like this. And the guy's like, oh, that's super dope. But if you put it on your foot or your palm of your hands, it only lasts like a month or two and then it fades away. He goes, so I wouldn't recommend that. And I was like, oh, well, I guess you can just put it here then. That was it.
I don't even want to fucking tell you, but I definitely don't want to show you.
Mikey, I've seen all of your tattoos before.
I don't know if you've seen all of them.
Yeah.
Mine's on my ankle.
Okay.
And it is well hidden by my socks.
I've seen you without socks.
Because I was terrified of my mother. No, this is the one that started it all.
Yeah.
Just that little, it's a G.
With a star.
It's a gangster G.
Oh.
I had a nickname when I was a kid, Those of you who are listening also can confirm this. I laugh after almost everything I say.
Yeah.
I giggle.
Yeah.
So Giggles was a stupid nickname when I was a little kid. And I blame Beavis and Butthead, honestly. Like, that's why I think everything I say is funny, because they always lauged after everything.
Speaking of 90s and bullshit,
yeah.
I had a nickname in high school.
My dungeon master, the reason I played D&D, the same room we played D&D in was the same room I got my first tattoo in.
I had a nickname in high school, and it was based off of 90s bullshit. It was the first day I walked into hockey practice when I was living in Minnesota.
Tight rolled jeans.
Nope. I had Paco jeans on it. It said Paco in the back pocket. And I was trying to figure out where to fucking sit, because it was my first day. I don't know what the fuck, you know. And,
up there, dude, you're the closest thing to an ethnicity they see.
Right. And as I was walking through the locker room, one of the guys was like, "Hey, Paco, right there." And that was it. And the rest of fucking, I mean, there's still today, there's kids that I went to high school with that are like, "Paco." And I'm like, "No, dude."
Yeah. Haven't been that for a long time, my man.
They think I'm Mexican.
No, it's because I had Paco.
I watched that the other day.
Yep.
Have you watched Tacoma FD?
No.
It's two of the guys from Broken Lizard
Okay.
did this sitcom about fire department.
Oh, I saw the
It's Kevin
preview for it.
Heffernan and
I saw the preview for it. Yeah.
Fuck.
It's Mac.
It's Mac and Farva.
It's Mac and Farva. Yeah.
And sorry, boys. I love your shit. I really do.
Steve Lemmy.
Steve Lemmy.
Steve Lemmy. Yeah.
It's Kevin Heffernan and Steve Lemmy. It's legitimately funny.
Yeah.
It's like their fifth season's getting ready to come out. Their four seasons
I
deep.
saw the preview because it just dropped. I was like,
legitimately funny. It came out it came out like 2018.
I didn't know it was that old. I thought it was brand new.
And they took a break during the plague. And it's legitimately funny. It's the crew they brought in, and then every once in a while the rest of the crew comes in and like guests. They come in and play like an additional character or whatever. But it feels old school Broken Lizard.
Like slime.
And apparently Lemmy and Heffernan have a podcast together.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But they have a show called Tacoma FD, and if you haven't watched it, it's very, very funny. But
well, I think it just dropped on Netflix, right?
I don't remember where I was watching it.
It is on Netflix.
It's on somewhere else too, but
Sling and Hulu.
I think I was watching it on Hulu.
Gotcha.
I don't watch a lot of Netflix anymore.
I don't either.
But shit's gotten stale.
Well, I was on this big Peacock kick for a while, but then they took off the extended versions of Harry Potter, and I'm upset about it.
I use a lot of Paramount too.
I just rewatched The Offer on Paramount Plus. It's about the making of The Godfather.
Yeah.
If you have not seen that fucking show, it's one season, and it's about them. It follows the producer of Al Ruddy, who was the producer of The Godfather.
You ready for a hot take of the show?
It's
and
a
then
fucking phenomenal.
we'll be able to sign off on this bomb.
Phenomenal.
You ready?
Yeah.
As the film kid, as the one that went to film school, and I absolutely love film.
Yeah.
I don't like The Godfather.
That's terrifying. Because that's wildly considered top 3 best movies ever made.
I don't like it.
I fucking love it.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't think it actually accomplishes much storytelling wise. I think it's well acted.
I think Mario Puzo would fucking disagree with you, sir.
I think it's well acted. I don't think the story itself.
Well, it's well acted because it's Brando,
Right.
Pacino.
It's well acted. The story itself, the depth of story, the payoff, and everything. It's not there. I don't think it's actually that good of a movie. Trust me, my film school wasn't overly happy when I said that either.
Yeah, I would disagree though.
You can.
I would disagree.
You can. I think the pacing is. I think it's bloated. I think there's way more movie in there than actually needs to be.
You sound like. Have you watched The Offer? You
No.
sound like one of the executives from Paramount.
I haven't watched it.
You just watch that and you'd be like, "Fuck."
No, I think the film's bloated. It's too long. There's too much. Whoever your editor was too weak to tell you that it didn't need to be there to further the story.
I think you're describing The Irishman also.
I 100. The Irishman was. We'll throw a huge cast at a shit movie.
I didn't watch it.
I couldn't make it through it.
I didn't watch it.
I couldn't make it through.
Yeah.
Everybody told me how fucking long it was, and I was like, "I'm out."
I tried.
That is, you threw an A cast at a C movie, and it's not good. But The Godfather, I think, it's bloated. The payoff isn't actually there. Don't write movies that require a sequel. A good movie gets a sequel because you want more of it, not it has to have a sequel to actually finish the story. That's not well written.
Well, the sequel was
better than the original. Godfather 2 is better than Godfather.
There's an argument to be made that I will agree with. Godfather 3 was a fucking abortion, but Godfather 2 was phenomenal. And one of the only sequels to ever make the fucking like top lists, right?
It's
of
I don't think
highest
it's
grossing
good.
films and shit.
And you can go ahead and clip that shit so everybody can get fucking mad. But yeah, I don't think Godfather's actually that good of a movie.
Yeah, that's weird to me.
And actually, and by the formula of what makes a good movie, it doesn't check any of the boxes either, other than the A cast.
You know what though? It didn't then either. Watch that show. I'll try it.
I
think you as a film guy, I think you'll actually enjoy the show for what the show is, because it talks about the behind the scenes process of of making a movie, and everything. And
I'm gonna laugh when Jazz comes back and goes, "This was the most horrible show I've ever fucking watched." About the most horrible movie I've ever fucking
I didn't say it was horrible. I just don't think it's as good as everybody says it is.
He's gonna feel attacked because he's gonna feel attacked, and I say that because he's a film guy. He's gonna be like, I fucking understood all the struggles that they were dealing with in this fucking show.
It's just like I don't think it's as good as everybody makes it out to be. I think it did unlock a genre that we've gotten some great films from.
Well, it essentially made a whole fucking TV series.
It made an entire series, The Sopranos. It also unlocked and it established a lot of those actors.
Have you watched The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Have you watched The Sopranos?
No.
I've never watched the whole thing.
You want to know how it ends?
I haven't watched it
It's the same
in
with
its
every fucking
completion.
thing.
You know how it ends?
People die.
Yeah, the same
Yeah.
that everything else.
The way every mafia movie does.
Yeah.
Cuts in the middle of a fucking scene and it'll make you angry.
I think there's way better fucking mafia movies out there, and I'll give Godfather credit for that. It opened up that entire genre of doing.
You know, it's a way better mafia movie.
So you get to think
Boondock Saints.
There was gangster.
Yeah.
there was gangster movies.
Goodfellas.
There was gangster movies before The Godfather.
There was gangster movies. There wasn't mafia movies.
Well, so interesting fun fact: the word mafia was only in the original screenplay of The Godfather one time, and it was removed because Joe Colombo, the leader of the Colombo family, asked them to remove the word mafia.
Yeah.
And they did. Like, I mean, dude, the behind the scenes of this, and from a producer standpoint, is fucking like, watch that show. Watch that show.
Look, here's why I think The Godfather isn't good. And I'm going to make this a comparison so that everybody understands. What's your favorite war movie?
Cool. Apocalypse Now is up there.
Okay, fine. We'll take that.
Okay.
Favorite war movie?
Well, let's go with that one. I want to see where you're going with this.
Just going to go Apocalypse Now.
Sure.
Okay. Now, let's make it realistic.
Okay.
So let's put in
It's pretty realistic.
It's not, though. So
It's not that realistic.
So
They'd went in there and smoked the weird kernel.
Okay.
Let's be
Hurt
real.
Hurt Locker. Okay.
How fucking dare you, sir? Even if you're joking, that's not okay.
One we've talked about. Okay, fine. Then
I thought we were talking about ones that are realistic.
Full Metal Jacket.
Okay, sure. Full Metal Jacket. Let's put all the realism in.
Okay.
Okay.
You just get Hamburger Hill.
So now 95% of the movie is everybody just sitting around waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put the realism of military in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I think Jarhead needs to be in the
95.
conversation.
Well, I was actually going to say, let's you know what? Let's take Jarhead.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to say, like, because you picked Apocalypse Now, which is, again, a Brando fucking.
It's Gary Kubiak. It's a great movie.
But as soon as you get Brando involved, you're going to maximum drama.
That's
like, it's just, you're dialing it up, right?
Very true.
This is the guy that did Citizen Kane. You're gonna get maximum, which for film it's escapism.
Right.
That's what it should be. You shouldn't be getting the real world. You should be getting something that transports you.
He was the first big method actor.
Well, the fact that Citizen Kane is considered the best film ever made and has been forever.
Since what? Citizen Kane came out.
Well, since the top one, since AFI came. When AFI released, the American Film Institute, when they released the top 100 films ever made, Citizen Kane went on top. And since then, it has never been budged. It is still the number one film ever made. If you haven't seen Citizen Kane, do yourself a favor, go see it. Red Bud.
1941.
Yeah. And the fact that he accomplished that film at the time is mind blowing.
Fucking bananas.
That's when like people died because they didn't have CGI.
Yeah.
So it's an incredible film. Anyways,
Hello,
when
Steve
you put
McQueen.
So let's take Jarhead.
Okay.
It's a good film. I make a lot of fun of it because
it's the most accurate war film maybe ever made.
And that's why I make fun of it, is because it's actually incredibly accurate. But what they do cut out is they cut out the moments that happen that are real. The whole getting recruited on the shitter, the whole like, you don't really have an option. This is just what the fuck I'm going to tell you you're going to go do. Hey, we're going to watch this movie. Oh, fuck you. It's a sex tape of your wife. Like, these are real happenings. This is actually what the fuck went on.
Yeah.
But they're cutting out everything in between.
That was almost a biopic, man.
Yeah. The football is like, oh, you're having fun? Fine, let's do it in Mop 4. That shit's real. They are really showing outside of there wasn't a lot of gunfighting going on. Sure. It was a lot of the inside the wire shit that we were dealing with in that film.
Right.
But what they don't show is you just sitting there for 3 days in gear, waiting to get told that you're going to do something.
With Jarhead, they kind of did.
They kind of do.
Which is why I appreciate that film.
But this is what I'm talking about with The Godfather, is it's a lot of like, whose fucking kitchen are we in now? And it's just...
You gotta watch this
It's
show,
just
dude.
one fucking...
You gotta watch this
It's like, this shit doesn't work. Like, the reason that like Goodfellas is so good is that you only get the spicy bits. They cut out... And that's the big joke about war, is that war is 95% boredom with 5% of utter terror interjected.
Right.
Like, that's war.
Accurate.
But if you did a war movie like that, where it was 95% of the audience bored as fuck with 5% spiciness, nobody would fucking say anything good about your film.
Yeah.
That's my feeling about The Godfather, is that I got 95% of people talking in a fucking kitchen and 5% where it's fucking good.
You've got to watch the fucking show.
It's not a good movie. It's not good storytelling. It's overacted boredom.
Part of the allure of The Godfather is that it's not made to be a mafia movie. It's made to be a movie about family. Could be any American family. They just happen to be in an extraordinary situation. And this is almost literally the pitch that they gave Paramount, right? According to the show, right? But it comes up with a good point. It's not just about that. It could be any family, all right? Like power is power, right? And the patriarch of the family in The Godfather is obviously Vito Corleone, right? And which later passes to Michael, right? Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it,
you're not spoiling
fix
anything
yourself.
at this point.
My point is you keep talking in a kitchen. One of the big selling points is like they had to fucking like Francis Ford Coppola was like, I need a working kitchen. And he was like, no, you don't. And he's like, it's $70,000 for a working kitchen. He's like, I need it. They're going to be They're going to be making sauce and talking about the sauce.
Exactly.
It's literally in.
Why the fuck? Why the fuck is that a movie? Why the fuck is that? That's no. This argument is like
to Francis Ford Coppola.
Top Gun isn't about fighter jets. This is actually about the brotherhood of serving. It's it's not.
Did they use real F-14 Tomcats though? Because you need one of those.
You do.
It's a lot more than $70,000.
The kid who played Rooster, fucking what's his name in the new Top Gun?
The new Top Gun's so good. Maverick is a fantastic film.
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller is the lead character in The Offer.
Is he?
He plays Al Ruddy.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I like him.
Who doesn't?
He's
fucking great.
Ever since he did Whiplash, he's fucking
phenomenal. Yeah. But so he's the lead character in
I'm gonna have to watch it. But yeah,
I honestly think you'll enjoy the show.
I don't think The Godfather's actually that good.
I'm curious to hear your opinion after you watch that show.
It's probably just going to reinforce my opinion.
It gives you perspective. I'll say that. I appreciated The Godfather. I've always been a Godfather fan. I appreciated it more after watching that show.
It will probably just reinforce the fact that
maybe it will.
It's an overdone movie.
Maybe it will. Maybe you'll identify with the fucking whatever his name's Barry in the show, and because he makes the same exact point. I was like, that's why I'm like, are you sure you haven't seen this fucking show? So I'm like,
As somebody that went to film school, I actually watch a strikingly little amount of shit about the industry.
Well, it's like a mechanic changing his own oil.
Yeah.
You don't really do that. Anyways, this has gone on too long.
Yeah.
Jazz is getting out of here, obviously. He's already turned his shit off. All right.
I'm
gonna raise my glass.
Okay, let's finish.
Just fucking cheers, boys. Like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons. Tell your mom.
Tell your friends.
Tell your fucking mom's friends.
That The Godfather's not that good.
Don't tell them that, because that's just a bold-faced lie. All right. That is one opinion compared to the rest of the world that says it's an amazing flick. So, anyways, 3 little things, guys. Not hard to do. Jazz?
Smoke on.
John?
Drink on.
God damn it, kids. Freedom to fuck on.